Radio. Welcome to Around the United Nations. With me in studios, always a pleasure to have in studios, Commissioner Scott Anderson. Commissioner.
Thank you. Here we are,
Oh,
yet
man.
again.
Now you know you're the only commissioner that doesn't have a Bronze Age title. Oh, too soon?
Come on. Come on. And you open it with an insult. Ouch.
It's the trash talk edition. Just in case we say it. This is now. Again, we brought it up last time. Sometimes we have limited time. Today's one of those days, so we wanted to make sure we got one of the shows out there. So we're gonna get the trash talk show out of the way because again, this is an angle-based league, so there's a lot of trash talk going, and especially brewing up into this the third edition of the Rumble.
Yeah, third Rumble. I can't believe it. Doesn't
Nice.
seem like the UNL's been around that long.
Very nice.
But yeah, third
Rumble
coming up on our.
While that's happening, and we may have just bumped into one another, those of you guys that listen to the LNL show, well, believe it or not, we're still having technical difficulties. So if you hear Commissioner and I collide, it's because of one of those dang interruptions. But hopefully we don't get too many. So, hey, Commissioner, sorry about that. You were saying this is the third edition?
Yeah, third edition. We're coming up on our, not to get into too much of the other stuff, but our Tour 50 celebration. Check that out. Also coming up on 3 years. I'm hoping to get something for that. So I'll be hopefully announcing that sooner than later. Yeah, but we're here to focus on the upcoming pay-per-view, the trash talk. We had, I think, 18 active managers this cycle, which is, about our regular numbers, somewhere between 15 and 20, which is fantastic. I'd love to get it even higher, obviously, but 15 to 20 is amazing. And I believe like 13 or 14 of those had qualifying wrestlers for Trash Talk.
Oh, nice.
So, when you talk about wrestlers qualifying for Trash Talk and qualifying for commish titles, 14 out of 18 is pretty good.
Now, I know we say it, and again, I guess this is a good time to reiterate it. It should be a given. I mean, if you're in the UNL, if you're playing in the Bronze Age leagues, it should be, by default that this. But again, every now and then, got to remind everybody, including myself, if you don't trash talk, you may not. And is it safe to say you don't qualify for the commissioner titles?
I would say if you consistently don't trash talk, you will not be included in things for UNL commish titles.
And everyone that knows the game knows that there's plenty of places to play. Not that we want you to leave, not that we want you to go. Again, but if you aren't competing for the commissioner titles, yes, you do have to trash talk. You're still welcome to play. We don't discriminate. You can come here, you can play, have fun. But again, when we're talking commissioner titles, we want to keep those heavyweights, pretty much focused and a lot of weight on them.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yes. Now, getting into this Rumble, obviously we know what happened last year with the Hitman retiring after he won the Rumble. Shout out to him. Like I said, the legends will always be remembered here in the UNL. He is definitely one that will go down as one of the first legends here. I mean, because he did it and did it well.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, this new edition, we didn't get up as high as last year in terms of the monetary compensation for the Rumble, but
still, not yet. But we do have some more entries, and I'm not sure if this will be it, but we're up to 3.5. So 3.5 is still very, very good.
Oh, whew, come on now. It's amazing.
Yeah, 3.5 million. So
I mean, imagine what one of these rookies could do with that much money if they manage to bring it home.
Yeah. Yep, we're up to 24. So
wow.
Yeah.
Nice. So shout out to everybody for signing up for that. So try and make sure you have some trash talk that mentions the Rumble. Help us out. Help promote it. Help
Sure.
pump it up. But there's a lot more going on than just a Rumble match.
Absolutely.
Uh, Now, where do we start with this, Commissioner? I'll let you take the lead, and then
Um,
I'll add my 2 cents about these feuds because there's a lot going on.
not that not that any match is unimportant. Do you want to start bottom up?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
That'll be a good one.
Okay.
Uh,
So
Now the one that I'm seeing here is looks like Ford Rucker versus the American Pride. Wow, where did that one come from?
well, Ford is fairly new on the scene, and he's been calling out Mr. Edison for a couple cycles. So, we don't hear a lot from Jack, but Ford is definitely he's got some kind of beef going on. He has went pretty hard at the American Pride.
I mean, if you're going to claim to be the American Pride, then you better defend the red, white, and blue and step your game up because, yeah, you'll offend people like Ford Rucker.
Yeah, and so Ford wants this actually to be a cage match.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know. Maybe these two have some kind of history.
Mm, that one's nice. Now, did anybody take up the Flying Dragon on his open challenge?
I do have it on good accord that we have secured a mystery opponent. So someone will be
Oh,
answering this
nice.
challenge. So I won't be revealing it, obviously, but
No, no,
someone will
no.
be answering this open challenge.
Nice. I like it. Yeah, no, no. It's always good to have a mystery opponent. I'm glad somebody has stepped up, and I guess this is one of those take notes moment where if you're playing in an angle based league, you don't always have to reveal it. I mean, just make sure you touch base with the commissioner, let them know, hey, this is what I'm setting up. Can you put
Mm-hmm.
down it's a mystery opponent,
Yeah,
and then use your trap, boom, knock it out of the park. So
absolutely. I think
now I'm intrigued. Now, like I said, I'm taking notes and I'm
yeah,
intrigued. I'm
yeah.
curious to see what's coming.
And I think that that's one of the things that UNL managers do so well, and really Bronze Age managers in general do so well, is since so many of us are so communicative and we talk a lot, it's fun to have these little things that not all the managers know. Like I happen to know who's going to be answering this open challenge. Over in the L&L, there's this head in the box thing going on that I'm keen on. Like what's going on with that, and like in the RWL, there are various stories going on where you don't have all the information, right? So a little Bronze Age shout out, but yeah, to the idea that it's fun to not know everything and then be surprised
Yeah,
when something happens.
like where is Rick Rancher?
Yeah, like where is Rick Range? Could he be this mystery?
Oh, I hope he's safe. At this point, I'm beginning to worry.
Yeah, I mean, with everything going on, you never know. Rick could
Yeah.
be, in the streets with his, you know, AK marching down as a protester.
In the street, belly up.
Yeah. Well, we'll hope that he's enjoying his retirement, but
Now, Dead Rabbit's back in action.
yeah. Yeah. They took a little vacation, but they've been, you know, solid in their work. One of the great 2019 feuds. I think we had, we always have good feuds going on, but I would say 2019 had what, two, three, or maybe four just epic, long,
Oh,
arcing feuds.
oh
And
yeah.
obviously, the Dead Rabbits were a part of one of those. So, you
Two,
know,
two of those because they had
well,
two
that's
people
true.
on.
That's true.
Yeah.
You make a good point. Yeah.
Oh,
So now they're kind of moving into 2020, and for reasons yet unknown, they decided to attack Valinaria. So,
Poor guy.
yeah, I
My
mean, can't
goodness.
catch
I
a
mean,
break. So
can't
he's
you?
got, speaking of mystery, he's got a mystery partner, or a partner yet unannounced, that will team up with him to take on the Dead Rabbits.
Ooh, nice.
I think that
Now,
there are two front runners, if I had to say.
I mean, obviously, I
You know
would shout out. I mean, Naul would be number one on that.
that's somebody that
On my list. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. And then
And
also, Valen has been teaming with Archie Jones.
yes.
So, so I would say either one of them would be likely candidates. But we'll have to wait and see if that's announced who the partner is.
Oh man. Now, I mean, how cool would it be if one of these days we got the reemergence of the Noble House?
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I would
oh
have the biggest smile. I am, may I
that.
say, the number one Noble House fan.
Oh,
Be down or get put down.
yeah.
Nothing would make me happier than to see the return of Noble House.
That would definitely be one of those like holy shit moments. Like the whole arena
Yeah,
would be like, holy shit, holy.
yeah,
Oh man, but
that
yeah.
would be incredible.
Oh man. Now speaking of incredible, Black Mass. Now, not only do they have a shot at the UNL commissioner tag titles,
True.
but they got themselves involved in a six-man match versus. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, they destroyed the Associates at the last pay per view, so it's kind of like the Associates went.
hey, hey, look, Commissioner, hey, you didn't give them the match they wanted.
but maybe 3-on-3 they'll have a better chance
Oh
than two
man.
on two. Solomon Ying is a powerhouse in and of himself. So, and Rex Redwood is as fabulous of a third partner as you could ask for. So I'm pretty excited for this one. The Associates have had some success, and obviously Ezekiel Crane's group in general is always a 6-man threat. So
Now,
I think this one could be more even than some people might give credit for.
now, at an unofficial fan appreciation day, uh, the associates dressed up as old women
Oh,
and attacked Humongous.
oh,
Yeah, so
and
that's
I believe that's on the UNL Facebook page, is it not?
that's my procrastinating.
Well, but it brings a good point that the UNL Facebook group is a happening place. It's a good place to be. It's where you're going to see results posted. You'll notice a little teaser. We have a new United Nations champion. So check that post out. Check out the trash talk posted there.
Yeah, I mean, I will definitely get it into the bulletin, so it'll be part of the canon. But yeah, so it happens from time to time. But
Yeah.
hey, we had to dress up as old ladies to even get near
To
poor Humongous. Took a
surprise
let.
Hugh.
Yay! I like that. So definitely got a good surprise. Oh man.
Yeah. Well,
Now
hey, it's the idea that if you can't beat somebody head on, you have to use your
the wit.
intellectual prowess,
Yes.
shall we say. And so
Gotta
that's, to me, that's what the Associates do. They're smart enough to know you can't just walk up to Humongous and
yeah.
take him on mono, two mono. You
Yeah.
have to you
Believe
have
me,
to
we've tried.
yeah.
And it worked out too well. Any one of the times that it worked out too well. Not only that, but we're over here saying humongous, and then in the shadows you got freaking Buford Blackwood, who's just as deadly. So,
Oh
you
yeah,
know, you know,
absolutely.
Oh man, that's why we were trying to just be like, okay, you know what? Let us take Hugh 2-on-1. There's no need for Buford. This will be a fair fight.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Black Mass attacked the Associates and the current World Tag Champions this past cycle as well. Laid all four guys out.
yep.
So yeah,
They're coming for them. Now,
yeah,
if Black Mass manages to bring that home, they're going to be in line for a shot at the uh, Knights of the Bronze that's coming to the UNL. So,
yeah. So since you brought it up, it's a good time to talk about it. This upcoming cycle, Black Mass will challenge to regain the World Tag titles. Right, they're the only team that managed to defeat the current champions, Naul
ooh,
and McFleece.
there we are. Yeah, let's give the
So
champ let's give the champs their shout outs. Shout out
exactly,
to Fortune 500 McFleece, by the way.
Fortune 500, and the winner of that match will go on the following cycle to challenge for the Knights of the Bronze Age. So, because that's coming up after so 2 cycles from now is when that match takes place. So one of those 2 teams will have the chance to become the new Knights of the Bronze Age, which is as prestigious as it gets. I do
Well,
believe.
well, a chance to become.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
a chance to be. Yeah, so that's good. Now,
A shot at
speaking,
glory.
yes, and Bronze Age glory is. Let me tell you, man, that's second to none. Now, um, since we're talking tag team action,
Yes, sir.
uh, we could argue that the Marchand Hitmen were probably one of the best, if not the best, last year. And so to see them going up against Akbar and his new killer assassin is, whew.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Akbar and Assassin, Akbar and Poison in general, dating back to the beginning of the league, they've they've always brought it. They consistently win at pay per view, and so when they call out the Hitmen, when they call out the Marchands, it's sort of a testament to how good the Marchands have been, but also that Poison is looking to continue to solidify their dominance. Of both the of both the tag division and the league in general.
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
agree. I mean, Akbar, as we mentioned early on in the show, we mentioned the Quebec Hitman, being going down in our legends here in the UNL. I mean, as soon as Akbar, hangs him up, I think Akbar will fall right into that same book. He'll be written into the history books right there.
for sure, for sure. Um, yeah, and speaking of Poison, it seems like Annihilation Inc., kind of their parent corporation, you might say, has grown. Their
Oh
trash talk
yeah.
this cycle talked about how they have some more members coming in. So we will look for. It looks like we have a couple of vampires who
Oh,
may be making their presence felt sooner than later. So at least they call themselves vampires. We'll see how all that plays out.
huh. UNL vampires. This is
I mean,
this is yeah,
yeah.
it's getting
I will
knucking.
say,
It's getting
our
knucking foots around here.
our sister league, the LNL, is more where the supernatural stuff might happen. UNL is more, shall I say, based in reality type stuff. So we'll see where all that plays out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I guess that's the nice thing about here. Hey, use your promotions, use your trash talk, use your write ups, whatever you want to call it. Use it wisely because it could make or break your career here.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
Speaking of make or break your career, how about this next match? The
oof.
uh, Jake the Snake Sabo will be making a special one-time appearance back in the UNL to take on Excavadora in our first ever, I think, Chicago street fight.
Nice. Now again, we were just mentioning the trash talk and using it and using it well. Shout out to Jake Sabo's manager for, even though he did some roster changes, still managed to, kind of give us a little shock and awe by announcing that he would make the fight at the Rumble. So
Yeah, absolutely. And also, can I just shout out that Excavadora challenged him to a Chicago street fight, given that the pay-per-view is taking place in Chicago, Illinois. So a good use of the location there,
yeah,
because those, street fights in wrestling history are fairly well known, but also, I don't know, there's something special about a Chicago street fight.
Chicago's, yeah, that's the Windy City makes it hard to keep your eyes open. So wear your goggles. Wear your goggles.
Wear your goggles for this street fight, gentlemen.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Um,
Now, we had mentioned kind of the soon to be legend versus virtual newcomer in the Akbar Assassin versus Marshan's Hitman. But this next one, these are two relative newcomers trying to make a mark here because the Demons of Rage are relatively new. Skullfire and Cycle Bolt have been here a few more cycles than them, but still relatively new to the UNL radar. And yeah, this is definitely a great way to make a name for yourself and climb the ladder.
right. And I think that both teams have done that. Both teams have established themselves as people to contend with. So no matter who wins this best of five, I think both teams, it's a situation where both teams will come out at a quote unquote like higher status than they came in. Now, the Demons of Rage, after losing match one, have won matches 2 and 3. So this is match 4, and Skullfire and Psycho Bolt will be looking to tie it up and avoid a loss in the best of 5. So this match 4 has big implications, and really both teams have brought it. Bless me. Leading into their there you are, technical difficulties. We'll do it live. Leading into this series, they had several cycles of back and forth, and now they're in the midst of this best of 5, and no result would surprise me. They're both talented teams, and so I look forward to seeing what happens at the pay-per-view. I'm glad it's on the show.
Yeah, I think they're both worthy of bringing home that win.
Yeah.
Now, getting into the minds of these fighters leading up to the Rumble. Obviously, Naul, going hard on the treadmill, treadmill.
Well, his doctor said he will be medically cleared in time for the Rumble, so he's trying to make sure that he's in shape for that.
Hey,
so
you know what? He must be a patient of LNL's Dr. Frankenstein, because he doesn't look like he wants to go back to the doctors. He just ripped off the
ripped off
his neck bracelet said.
So hopefully that doesn't, sometimes athletes will push themselves too hard and they'll re-injure themselves. So hopefully that's not what happens with our good friend here.
Now, that's an interesting song you picked for for Valen's entrance. Nobody pray for me.
Yeah. I actually stole it from the Punisher series. I don't know if anybody's interested in the Netflix kind of,
I'll shed a tear now, because when I heard that they were canceling that, I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Oh wow. Now
there's a rumor that Disney might be interested in continuing Daredevil and or Punisher. So I'd be thrilled.
I would hope Disney could do it. but I don't think they can pull it
I
off in
mean,
the
it's
same.
pretty gritty. Yeah.
Yeah, because the blood that was involved, yeah, there's
Yeah.
no way Disney's gonna go for that.
Yeah. That
But
the actor that plays Punisher, whose name I don't know, was also on The Walking Dead, and he just epitomizes to me the Frank Castle character. He nailed it. So
yeah,
I would love to see that continue. But anyway, that's where I stole that song from.
nice. Yeah, we have to have a little movie reference. We haven't had Walter McGinn give us any. So we had to have something. So yeah, shout out. Shout out to Walter McGinn. Hope to hear from you. I know you've been resting, so you had a long year. Now, speaking of Walter Monk, they're the ones that are going after Naul, huh?
Yeah, yeah. So set up that pay-per-view match. We'll hopefully find out the reasons for that attack. But yeah, and then we
Dude, come on now. Looking at Walter and Bill, you actually think they need a reason for crying
now.
out? They
I mean, their reason to be
they
felt like it,
suplexed a
right?
man on a wheelchair.
Superplexed onto steel steps.
Oh, threw him out of a car. Yeah, that man does not need a reason to go attack you, right?
No, they do not. No,
Oh,
they. I am interested though as to who might be sending this message. You thought it was safe.
ah, that you know what? I'll be honest with you. You want my guess out of the interfed
Sure,
out
sure.
of the interfed cloud
Make your
is
guess, and then I'll have my guess. We'll see. We'll see if we have the same guess.
well, since I'm seeing a lot of $100 bills, the first thing that's coming to my mind is last year's $4 million winner at the Rumble.
Oh,
So I'm thinking, you know what? The Quebec Hitman makes his debut back because he did mention that he had maybe but just throwing it out there.
that would be shocking.
Yes, but who's your guess?
Well, my guess was because of the $100 bills. I thought of Fortune 500.
Oh,
Is this some kind
yeah.
of message that he's got going on?
Okay,
But
yeah. You know what? Now that he's redubbed himself Fortune 500, you're right. Yeah, that does also become a big possibility.
yeah, but the possible return of the Quebec Hitman had not crossed my mind. That's interesting.
Just making it rain on us like we'll see.
Also
At least.
interesting. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good.
I was going to say also interesting. As a person who enjoys, fonts and headlines and things that make your trash talk stand out, I just want to mention that I think it's really awesome that the W in Redwood is, has the shape of a tree there. Nice touch, good touch. I like that sort of stuff. And he attacks our current bronze conqueror.
No.
Yeah. So, you talk about going after the top of the mountain.
Yeah. Now, we mentioned Sadako on the Living Nightmare show. Obviously, she's a Living Nightmare resident, but we did mention how she's pretty much taken that belt and become it. Because she's rolling with it, man. She's always talking about it, sending trash talk to each league. So I mean, I imagine we're in the middle of the UNL arena, and next thing you know, we get a Sadako promo. Ah, dude, that's eerie.
Yeah.
So I'm glad Redwood stepped to the bat and
Or the 2x4, as it were.
oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to. Now when is she? Oh, she's coming back. If
Her next
if
defense is in the L&L.
if she
So,
manages to get back Bagul, the sinister one.
yeah. So, L&L is up next, and then UNL is up after that, I think. Let's double check.
Let's do it. Yeah, because yeah, 'cause
Next,
she already beat the RWL. I know she defended in the
yeah. Oh
RWL.
no, RWL is next. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because she beat Marchand.
Oh, that's right. That's
So
who it was.
so LNL is up this cycle. 2 cycles later will be the
You
RWL.
are right.
So once in a while, even a blind squirrel. So we haven't heard too much about the intentions of one Aaron McFleece and Tim Batsu, but they do leave a little nugget of information here about how they're currently reading the How to Win Everything and Influence Everything. And I think that Fortune 500 and Timbatsu, they're laying low going into the Rumble, but I can't shake the feeling that they are going to ruffle some feathers over the summer.
Yeah, I mean, how much can you really trust Dale Carnegie, man? I mean, that guy.
I mean, I wouldn't, but Fortune 500 almost won the Rumble last year.
Using the Dale Carnegie system?
No, I don't.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't know, waffle somebody with a book. Why not? But
Oh,
we'll see kind of what comes of their. I wouldn't even call it a friendship, right? It's like a working business relationship.
I would even call that questionable. I think it's just an agreement.
Yeah.
Just a very shaky, very, like, yeah. Oh no, yeah. I mean, McFleece has treated Timbatu like crap for a while now, so
Hey,
it's even a miracle that
I
they're on
I think
speaking terms.
Tabatsu returned that favor.
Yeah, he's gotten his fair share of hits in,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
now we did mention glad to see the Dead Rabbits back. So
Yes.
they
Yep. Yep.
they're mentioning that they were on their little trip. So glad to see them back. Um, Akbar, like we know, just a son of a bitch, ready
Yep.
to
Yep.
ready to.
Talked about the growth of Poison and the Annihilation Inc. faction.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep. Uh, Next we see the
Hey, 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 hey.
yes.
What happened to the B-side trash? What happened to the B-side trash talk? Did you already forget that one? Because I'm already going all the way
Oh,
down, and I just remembered right now that I scrolled down and I saw Double Dutch 2000, and I'm like, wait a minute,
well,
Vlexing Vladimir, where are you?
I would never forget Blacksing Vladimir. He is on the B side. He's right after the Battle Royal and before the commission report. It's easy to miss. Normally that space I think is reserved for Naul and Valen. So
For you were gonna say for Rick Rancher.
yeah. So Vexing is there, and he seems to be feeling a bit like he has not been pulling his weight. And I mean, he's in the Rumble match, but he doesn't have a separate pay-per-view match, and so I don't know. He's looking to make a statement. It seems like because
Nice.
Jacob and TVB have been so successful this year. TVB has 3 league titles already in 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, which is
Now,
crazy.
yeah, that's nuts. Where is Did I miss it? Double Dutch isn't in any other side match. They're just gonna focus on defending their titles at the pay-per-view. Is that why they're not in the other matches, or
Well, our commission title matches don't really quote unquote take place at the pay per view, but
because they can?
they do seem to be focusing on the level of success they've had and entering the Rumble match. That 3.5 mil. But their trash talk, Jacob has clearly been working on his oratory skills, and it almost sounds like Art Deco is. I don't know. He might be in trouble here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
What?
well,
Dude, what in tarnations did put old Art Deco do?
I know the most fashionable man in the IWA, but
Well, he has a challenger now.
there's
There's
a marked
the,
a
the,
marked
he
But
he has a challenger for that best dressed award.
oh, are you speaking about?
Over in the LNL, this Lord Akuma guy. Holy moly!
Oh, okay, okay. I mean, fancy outfits all around.
Yeah, but
But
you were saying what did he get in trouble for with the Double Dutch gang?
well, it just sounds like maybe Art was questioning why they were sounding so arrogant, and there seems to be a new edge here to Double Dutch. You know, a little less fun loving and a little more uh, in your face.
Ooh.
So we'll see what goes on there. I will be very interested to see how that all comes into play.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely talking about ruling the league, and rule they have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of ruling the league, we had a couple of recent debuts, and certainly
Oh yeah, this
a
guy,
front
whew,
runner for the
instant impact. I mean, we've
2020
mentioned
rookie of the year.
other
It has to
instant
be.
imp.
Yeah.
Yeah, we mentioned obviously when Bill the Butcher came was an instant impact. We mentioned
Huh.
the Marchands instant impact. We mentioned obviously Black Mass and their instant impact. Taking it way back to the Ezekiel Crane and their impact here in the league, but two cycles to the top. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah. Damian Hendrick. So, you cycle one on the, regional titles, cycle two, league champ. So that's how you put a stamp on your debut right there. So,
Yes.
and in addition to, winning the league title, and I think not so much that, it's just I don't want to say surprise, but just you would catch all these, you know, fairly veteran UNL players off guard, right? I mean, this guy is clearly, a larger, wrestler. It's got to be what, 6'7", 6'8", and not to be messed with and not to be underestimated. So you talk about putting your stamp on the league, coming in and winning league title. That's how you do it. And speaking of where they might be going, Hendrick and his do you want to say partner in crime, Miss Doom, they have called out
Yeah.
Akbar an assassin. So I think, coming out of the Rumble, we may see a knockdown, drag out, pick 'em feud between the recently debuting, Hendrick and Doom against the never to be trifled with Akbar and Assassin.
That would be fun. I mean, we've mentioned obviously we talk about it off air more than we do on air, but mentioned just the different interactions amongst different managers, and obviously with angle-based play leagues, angles do take a while, but I guess using the multiple I mean, just because you have one character involved in a feud doesn't mean that you have to necessarily involve your other character in that same feud. You can always reach for another angle as well, simultaneously, just to keep things fresh. I mean,
Sure, sure.
but
Yeah, I do think the UNL lends itself to a lot of tag team feuds, given our two wrestler limit. So we'll see.
and in case if you're listening and if you're like, damn, what these guys are way off today. It's I know we're having a little bit of little technical difficulties. I'm hoping that when commissioner is talking, it's actually recording because I have to, I'm like, this thing better be recording. If not, we'll
Yes.
have to have another trash talk edition. All right, now
Yeah. Well, we're almost to the end here. We already talked about Solomon Ying, and he's got some fire in his spit here. I don't know if that's a phrase, but he's calling on the associates to be ready for that big 6-man tag match. The Mongrovian Brawler decides to beat up poor Tonga Ming, who's been kind of on the shelf for a while. But hey, when you don't show any mercy, I think everybody's on alert.
Oh yeah. I'm more interested in this guy because I think obviously we know Jack Edison. He's a he's a tough SOB. But I'm curious to see if Fuddrucker can get him to say his name.
Yeah. So we'll see, and obviously Rucker wants that match in a cage, so we'll see if that gets announced.
Do you think that was kind of intended? This cage is more than just steel.
Oh,
you like that one?
Are you saying
you like that one towards Jack Ed? Oh, you like that one? You like that
one? Interesting. Sometimes there's a subtext, huh?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't read that before, but now I can't not see it. Speaking of things that you didn't know before, we have Mr. Ezekiel Crane, who is claiming to have some kind of miracle medicine.
What?
And if you believe that, I have an igloo to sell you in the Arctic. So he is going to be making his in-ring debut at the Clash of the Bronze Age event.
Just how hard did the Dead Rabbits hit him?
This is some Professor Xavier type healing right here. This is amazing.
I don't know. Oh, this is.
Then
you know what? This is definitely one of the biggest scam artists the United Nations has ever seen.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
Sickening. But
so,
oh man.
On a more positive note, it's always good to end on something big. And I dare say that the Excavadora versus Jake Sabo street fight at the Rumble is about as big as we can get, when you're not talking about putting $3.5 million on the line. So
Excavadora, I think they went at each other hard. Let's just say it like it is. I mean, taking out managers, I mean, no one saw that coming, and then next thing you know, I still feel bad for poor Henry Donaldson, man. It's like,
never saw it coming.
Never.
So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Rumble. Definitely looking forward to, looking forward to see if Humongous can recover and be at 100% for that match, or if we manage to get an edge. Oh man. Oh, Commissioner. Like I said, I do apologize for the technical difficulties. Hopefully, next time we get on, we can have full bandwidth.
We can only hope. We should hopefully, we'll check our schedules, but hopefully we can record the commish side stuff later this week. So thank you to all of our wonderful, loyal listeners. You're wonderful. You're why we do what we do.
Oh, you know it. Keep that trash talk coming. Commissioner, we're going to go ahead and sign this one off. Is there anything else you want to put on this one before we...
Not on trash talk stuff. So, hopefully everybody can listen in to the commish side when we get to that. There's lots of big stuff happening. Our title series finished up. So a little teaser into that. And We'll record that later this week.
All righty, guys. Make sure you tune in to the Commissioner edition of Around the United Nations. For now, you've been listening to Commissioner Scott Anderson and myself, IWA Flip. We'll see you guys next time.